welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing with you my Smutathon TBR. If you don't know, Smutathon is a steamy romance readathon that I host with my best friend Lainey, and it is going to be running from October 25th until Halloween, October 31st, and I am so excited for this TBR. We have a bingo board with all of the challenges. A lot of them are like Halloween themed, and I'm really like diving headfirst into the Halloween theme. Pretty much all of the books that I've chosen are dark or like monster romances or like paranormal. So I don't know specifically which books I'm reading for which challenges. A lot of them could count for multiple ones. I'm just going to kind of decide as I go. But I think that this, out of all of my Smutathon TBRs that I've done, I think that this one might be my favorite. So I'll just start and go through the challenges. The first one is a dark romance, and for that one I have chosen Lessons in Corruption by Gianna Darling. This is a motorcycle romance. It's the first book in this series, the Fallen Men series, and I think that I have put this book on multiple Smutathon TBRs in the past, and I've never gotten around to it because there was no audiobook, but the audiobooks for the first 3 books have just recently come out, so now it is perfectly timed. The stars have aligned for me to read this during Smutathon. So aside from being motorcycle club, this is also age gap with a older woman, younger man. I am a little bit nervous because it is student teacher, which is not my favorite trope, but I've just heard amazing things about the series, and Gianna Darling is one of those authors that I've just always felt like I'm really going to love. So the main character is the heir to a notorious criminal motorcycle club. I think that his dad is like the president of the club, and him and his teacher like hook up before the school year starts, and they don't know who each other are, and then they meet each other in class, and it's awkward. So yeah, I'm just like very excited to read this. The next one I will be reading for Reverse Harem, and that is A Lady in Rooksgrave Manor by Catherine Moon. This is our group book, so both Lainey and I will be reading this, and this actually counts for like tons of the challenges. It counts for Reverse Harem, Monster, Red or Purple on the cover, Vampire, 2021 release. But basically this is like a dark gothic reverse harem romance about this woman who wants to hook up with monsters. So she goes to this like house of ill repute where that's what you do there. There's a bunch of monsters and you can hook up with them. So she has a reverse harem with a bunch of different monsters. It sounds really fun. I've just heard amazing things about this. Everyone recommends it to me. So I'm very excited to read this with you guys, and I hope that everyone likes it as well. The next book I have for the challenge of 2021 release, and that is Hooked by Emily McIntyre. This could also count for, I think, dark romance, maybe enemies. Basically, this is a Peter Pan retelling, and it's about Hook and Wendy, and like I said, it's a dark romance. I've heard that it is very dark, and it's basically about Hook wanting to get revenge, and in order to do that, he goes after the man's daughter, who is Wendy. The reason that I bought this is because I saw some quotes from it that looked very good, so I'm very excited for this one. So the next 3 books that I have on my TBR are all from the author of Ada Weiss. I read Feed a couple months ago and became obsessed with it. That's a monster romance that I highly recommend. If you haven't read it, put it on your Smutathon TBR. It is a succubus romance, and it was hot, like so hot. So I basically want to read everything else that Ada Weiss has published, and they're kind of all monster romances, which is perfect. So the first one is Skin, which takes place in the same universe as Feed, but this one is between a gargoyle and a banshee, and they're co-workers, and it sounds really great. Then the second one is called Headless, and this one is really short. I think it's like only 14 pages, but it is a retelling of Sleepy Hollow. It takes place on Halloween, and it is an MMF poly romance with the Headless Horseman. So I'm very excited to read that one. And then the other one from Ada Weiss is Fear and Love in Other Languages, and this one, it sounds really weird, but like I'm down for it. It is a monster romance between someone and the physical embodiment of their nightmares. which I'm curious to see how that works. But I feel like Feed gave me so much trust in Innovative Ice. I loved that book so much. I have highlights on my Kindle of different quotes in that book, and I probably look at them a couple times a week. So I'm willing to trust and read anything that Innovative Ice writes, so that's why she has like dominated my Smutathon TBR. The next one that I have is Games We Play by Dana Islay. So this one I have talked about in my like come book shopping with me ebook video, but basically this is a little steamy novella between a woman and a faceless gamer, kind of like corpse husband, and it sounds really good. This is another one that I purely got because I saw quotes from it that looked really good. The next book that I have for the challenge of Taboo is The Dare by Harley Laroux. This book I've heard like wild things about. This book was actually banned on Amazon, and I want to find out why. So all I know about this is that it takes place on Halloween, and I've heard there's clowns involved. I've heard that it obviously has something to do with a dare. I don't know. I've just heard that it's wild, and if it was banned on Amazon, like that intrigues me. The next one I have is called Scream for Us by Molly Doyle. I picked this one for the challenge of takes place on Halloween, even though a lot of these other books take place on Halloween as well. But this one basically is about a girl who goes to a Halloween party, and she meets these three guys who are all dressed up as different like horror movie slasher villains. So one of them is Ghostface, Michael Myers, and then Jason Voorhees. And as a slasher movie lover, I am very interested in that. This was one that I think Lainey sent me, and she was like, we have to read this, and I bought it immediately. The next one that I have is called The Horseman of Sleepy Hollow. This one I just randomly came across when I was looking on Goodreads for like different Halloween-y romances, and it actually hasn't come out yet. It comes out on the 15th, so it will be out before Smutathon starts. But it's basically about a woman who is taken captive of the Headless Horseman. And I know that I already have like a Headless Horseman book on here. However, that one was, like I said, that one was really short. This is a little bit longer, so I'm excited for it. It says that it is a dark romantic novella perfect for fans of Jennifer L. Armentrout, Laura Thalassa, and Beck McMaster. And then the last book that I have on here is Her Soul to Take by Harley Laroux. This one I have been wanting to read for so long. I get recommended it so much. It is a romance between a demon hunter and a demon. I've heard that it is so steamy. I saw some reviews that said there are steamy scenes in a cemetery, which just feels like it's gonna set the perfect vibes for a Halloween Smutathon. So those are all of the books that are on my Smutathon TBR. I literally cannot wait to read all of these. I feel like I'm just gonna be living my best, perfect, smutty Halloween life, and I cannot wait to see what everyone else is reading. I've made this TBR before I've seen anyone else's TBRs, and always what ends up happening is once I see what everyone else is reading, I add a million other books to my TBR. Lainey and I will be doing a live show on October 30th at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time on my channel, where we're just gonna talk about all the stuff that we're reading. We're gonna talk about the group book. We're gonna give recommendations, just hang out and chat, and it'll be a fun time. So definitely be sure to join us for that. And I hope you guys have fun during Smutathon. I will be vlogging and sharing all my thoughts on all the books that I read. Definitely be sure to tag Lainey and I in your TBRs or any of your Smutathon posts. And thank you guys for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye!